Welcome to the All Things Wildfire podcast, where we delve into the latest trends and hot topics in protecting properties against wildfire. So sit back, relax, and join us as we arm you against disaster.
Hey, good morning, friends. So I wanted to jump into the studio this morning and really talk about the sense of urgency that we have here in California. And this is going to transfer into all the wildfire states, Colorado, Montana, you name it. Now, for us at Allied Disaster Defense, and I just kind of want to set the stage so you know what we do, so you can understand what we're seeing every single day. So at Allied Disaster Defense, we help homeowners to be able to install ember-resistant vents, to install gutter guards, and to do vegetation management, remove any vulnerable vegetation from around the perimeter of the home. That's what we do on the wildfire risk prevention. In addition to that wildfire risk prevention, if you have a hillside or you have a large vegetation that is somewhat on the property, we spray Check fire retardant, okay? That will keep your vegetation from igniting in case there is a wildfire that's coming up the hill. So that's the prevention for wildfire. Number two that we do is we actually install the earthquake shutoff valves, right? So in case there's an earthquake, I think it's a 5.4 or greater, this valve will shut off your gas, preventing any gas leaks from leaking or any ignition or anything like that. So that's another risk piece that the insurance companies love to see. The last one, and probably the most significant one that the insurance companies like to see, is the automatic water shutoff valves. To be able to, if there's a leak when you're not home, this valve will detect that there is a leak that is outside of the normal usage of your home, of the water usage, and boom, it'll shut it off. So I say all of that, my friends, to tell you this, that the insurance companies are looking for the ability to minimize their risk as much as possible, not only from wildfire, but also from an earthquake or an explosion, and absolutely from water damage. So consider when you are getting this non-renewal notice, or you're getting this notice from the insurance carrier, or your broker is telling you, hey, Mr. Smith, you got to do all these things. Realize that the carrier is helping you get to this place of minimizing risk, number one. Number two, do we hate it? Yeah, because it's an unexpected bill that has to show up. I get it. But it's good for you. It's like medicine, right? We take it, it stinks, it doesn't taste good, but we know that it's good for us. This is the same thing with those prevention measures. So all that to say is we're available for you if you need us to take care of your client, or if you, a homeowner, are listening to this, you want us to help you out, we're glad to do that. But here's what I'm seeing now, my friends, and it's shocking. This is why I wanted to get on. What is shocking is I just got an email last night from a broker that says, hey, OP, I need your help. Like, a lot of my customers are considering self-insuring. And what that means is that, the homeowner has either paid off their loan and they don't need insurance, and they could just insure themselves in case there is a catastrophe or disaster. The shocking thing is that the insurance company the year before made the homeowner install ember-resistant vents, made the homeowner install automatic water shutoff valve, and to install a gas valve also. All those things were done, and the rate has doubled from what they were paying last year. And this is in the tens of thousands of dollars. And I got to tell you, my friends, when you get a bill that is about $80,000 for the year, when you were used to paying $20,000 for the year, that's a $2,000 a month payment or a little bit less, jumping up to a $7,000 plus payment per month. This is getting incredibly ridiculous. And guys, I'm not talking about Beverly Hills either. I'm not talking about those areas because we're here in Los Angeles, but I'm not talking about those homes. I'm talking about Riverside County. If you're familiar with Riverside County, you realize that's in the Inland Empire. They're standard homes for the most part. This one's a little bit larger than standard, but it's really hitting home now from the standpoint of you're doing all of these things to protect your home, and you just want the insurance carrier to say, yep, I'm in it with you. I see that you've done all this work. I'm going to reward you for that. It's not happening. It's not happening, man. And that is the scary thing, is that, that's been the focus of what we've been doing. Most carriers take a look at this and say, cool, I see that you've done the work. You've done all this work. You've invested. We're going to go ahead and take a chance on you. And here's your premium X. But on top of the premium, my friends, there's a limit on wildfire coverage. And this is where all of the homeowners really need to pay attention, okay? Because the brokers are losing their mind. The brokers are doing the best they possibly can. They're going to market and they're saying, take care of my customer. What can you give them? What's happening now is they are putting limits on how much they're going to be paying out if there is a wildfire. So what that means is the deductibles are higher. So, an average person like you and me probably see a $5,000, maybe a $10,000 deductible that we have to pay. I have seen more frequently $50,000 deductibles, meaning that if the claim is not over $50,000, hey, pay it yourself because there's no sense in filing the claim. But what about a $300,000 deductible? Like, what about that? Like, that is so shocking to me. And I'm like, what planet are we living on where insurance is no longer, insurance is not what it used to be even 3 years ago, okay? And I know a lot of people are saying, yes, I know this is what we've been seeing going on. But the reality is the landscape is changing. It's changing so much that if you do have a wildfire that comes through your property, and yes, the home is saved, but you have smoke and soot everywhere in your sheets, in your linens, in your clothing, all that stuff. Normally, that's paid for by the insurance coverage. But if your deductible is $300,000, that means that you have to have substantial amount of damage before the insurance company even sets foot onto your property and says, yes, we're going to pay for anything. So all this to say, insurance premiums are skyrocketing high, and deductibles are matching that, which basically is the insurance carriers are saying, hey, we're going to insure you, but if there's a wildfire, we're likely not going to be involved because you have to spend $300,000 first before we get involved. Frightening, my friends. I don't know about you guys, but what? It's incredible. So I want to just say to you guys, to everyone, make the brokers your friends. These people are working diligently to figure out what the heck they can find for you. And so if you don't have a broker that communicates with you or that is searching for you, find someone who is, because these men and women are going through hell right now. And they're also frustrated. And so they're trying to, watch this, right? They reached out to us and they said, hey, OP, can you please spray fire retardant around the hillside? And if you do that, man, I might be able to convince the underwriter to take on this risk. Guys, that's a broker that cares. That's a broker that's saying, I need to take care of my client. Otherwise, we're not going to have any coverage at all. And that's the worst place to be, unless you want to self-insure, which is a whole nother conversation. Not recommended, my friends, at all, because you never know what could take place. All this to say is that California is going crazy. Montana's coming, Colorado, the same stuff's going. It's whatever's happening here is going over there. I promise you guys. And so I think it's time that we take inventory on what the heck we're doing with our own risk. So we have to not rely on the departments of insurance to help us, because they're not stepping up. They're not making the changes that they need to fast enough, which is leaving us holding the bag as a homeowner. And so do all the prevention you possibly can so you can make sure that your home is as safe as possible, because you're not going to want to file a claim. You're going to hope that you don't have a claim, because if you do, my friends, it's going to cost you a tremendous amount of money just to make it make sense to file the claim. So all this to say, my friends, contact us if you need our help. I'm here in the fight with you, with the brokers, with the family offices, with the business managers to help the customers get the best possible protection they can for all of these risks. So good luck, my friends. Peace out.
That's all for this episode of All Things Wildfire. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe to our show and follow us on social media to stay up to date on all things wildfire. And as always, thanks for listening.